I think ultimately everyone has some responsibility to be engaged in that system. It's just so fundamental to our population that there's some responsibility to be involved in it, and that, well, basically it's an opportunity through many different mechanisms to support all the good things that come out of local food production. So not many people can go buy a farm and start farming, or even have the time or the energy or the land or the space to plant a garden, but you can, through these mechanisms, support that value system and support that movement. So it's just, to me, it seems to provide a fairly inclusive and accessible way to support local food production, and with that, the environmental, social, health values that come with it, without having to become a farmer. So I think it's great to see it growing. The one particular CSA that we chose to be involved with is urban-based CSA. So that's a little bit different. Usually a CSA will be a farm in a rural setting where they have larger scale production, and once a year, twice a year, you go out and work on the farm and kind of get your weekly vegetable portions. In this particular organization, it's urban-based, and so instead of being out in a farm, there are a dozen gardens scattered throughout the city, and you instead of spending one day throughout the year, every week, kind of every month, you spend several hours. And so the things that really attracted me to it was that, first of all, it's largely about urban land reclamation and reclaiming green spaces in an urban environment. So kind of trying to work against paving everything over or putting everything to grass, and kind of the lack of productivity that entails. So reclaiming urban land. And then the second thing that really attracted us to it was the fact that it's all largely based on education. And so for the people that run it, it's a means to regain that knowledge that I talked about earlier about how knowledge is being centralized and corporatized. So it's a very tangible way of decentralizing and regaining that knowledge about food production and making it a common, accessible thing. Again, for anyone who doesn't necessarily have their own space or time or whatever. And so I mean the philosophy of the group is really we grow gardeners, not necessarily we grow gardens. And so I think that is a much more profound way to kind of disseminate the knowledge and the values associated with local food production.